Okay. We live, man. What's going on, everybody? How we doing today? What's cracking? What's going on? We should be good. Everybody should be able to comment. And boy, that was some tough. That was tough. That was tough. That was tough, man. But just give me a minute while we get situated here. Matter of fact, let me cancel that out. Yeah, give me a minute. We're gonna get situated. Shout out to everybody holding it down. You know, um, let me play this video for you right quick.
Yeah. Yo, the dope. Yeah. Yeah. The day hit different, phone rang like a church bell toll. Told the boy at the tavern, Saturday night shell crack. Stories he told. Four deep in the whip, mission sealed in black ink. He wrote a check his ass couldn't cash. Now we coming to collect that link. Town tavern, lights low, shadow dancing on floor. We slid in quiet wolves in sheep clothes, eyes locked on the sword, sat across like chess masters, pawns ready to flip the board. No retreat, no surrender, 4 horsemen, death have been called. Turtle in the tavern, slow motion, think he's safe in his cup, but the reaper sent fall. Now the bill coming due. What's up? What? He wrote that check, now his ass in the red, feel the heat rise. But the ratchet skank shield popped up. Saved the turtle that night. Turtle in the tavern, slow motion, think he's safe in his cup. But the reaper sent foe, now the bill coming due. Feel the heat rise inside the spot. Tension thick like fog in the graveyard mist. One hitter goes to the bar, poking the bed, trying to get a reason to twist. Give me your look, give me your word, make this personal, fool. Turtle boy sipping slow, shell tucked tight, acting cool. Boss on the line, voice cold, he with a ratchet, whole position. Didn't plan for the extra variable. Skank in the equation, phone buzz twice, heartbeat sync with the bass in the back. Hitters itching, fingers twitching, ready to paint the whole scene black. Metaphors in motion, turtle versus the hawks in flight. Shell made of pixels, blogger life, for real still in sight. Ratchet turned savior, hood armor, lipstick like war paint. One wrong move and the whole tavern turned to a horror scene. Faint, boss said I'll call you back. Line went dead like a ghost, then it rang abort mission. Stand down, let the turtle boast. The ratchet skank saved them, unintentional guardian angel glow. Turned 4 killers to civilians with a presence alone. Turtle boy exhaled, never knew how close death did creep. Broke them blogs like swords, but that night his pen almost sleep. 4 guys dipped out, shadows melt back into the dark. Lesson learned, Turtle got away that night. Left his mark. Next time, no ratchet shield, shall get cracked, no rehab. But tonight he walked free, and that's a different path. Yo.
Oh, that, man. Big shout out to SK27. But what's going on, everybody, man? How we doing today, man? Like always, we have Free Eddie Obrien channel over here, so Free Eddie, absolutely free. Free the guys, Free Eddie Obrien for sure. What are we supposed to do? Throw the kid away? I'm just curious. Transform overlays on stage. Oh, no shit. But what are we supposed to do, really? Are we just supposed to throw the kid away? You know what I mean? But you know what? I see more people in favor of Eddie Obrien than in opposition. That's a fact. I see more people in favor of Eddie O, than that's really against him. But we've been talking about the Eddie Obrien case. We're going to continue to talk about the Eddie Obrien case. you know um and there's other creators now that are talking about the Eddie O'Brien case as well. But it's always, yeah, absolutely Eddie free Eddie all day. But yeah, when we wrapped up last time, I was having a lot of problems with the comment section, but I think we got that all straightened out. Once people have a chance to get up in here, I still gotta share it. So once people have a chance to get up in here, let me do this first and foremost. Boom. Oh yeah, that was yesterday. Yesterday we started the show with a fallen Mass State police officer. Horrible way to die, no matter who you are. Wow, I guess the racist cracker Chud actually shot someone last night. Is that for real? How Mass has taken after the most violent system in the country. Interesting. Not too surprising. Something else I want to watch today on Chisholm. How Chisholm really is a violent piece of crap. Imagine that. The system said Craig Price was, a psychopath. They said Eddie O'Brien was a psychopath. Chisholm was a psychopath. And out of all three guys, right, Eddie O'Brien was the only one that didn't show he was a psychopath. Is it possible they got that one wrong? But if you're listening to this right now, right, you're not just an audience, right? You're part of a solution, right? We have to share Eddie's story, read the documents, go to the truthabouteddieobrien.com, right? Read that shit, learn that shit, look at the timeline, look at the evidence that they never showed the jury. Look how biased the judge was. Look at the contradictions that they hoped nobody would ever look at again. Because let me tell you, innocence don't expire. And justice don't happen by accident. It definitely don't. Justice does not happen by accident. But we got to give some people some time to get up in here. But if you're just joining us, hit the subscribe button, hit the comment section, leave a comment, grab a membership. We want to build that membership, so we can start exclusively having member lives, and then we could really start talking. We're gonna get into this, man. We're gonna I think you're all gonna like this one. Eddie O'Brien, justice denied.
The Somerville streets, the summer breeze blue. Janet Down is light, gone too soon, we rue. A mother of four, life cut short in despair. Found in a home, no one seemed to care. 95 was the year, shadowed in pain. With whispers of justice, but it's all in vain. 15-year-old O'Brien caught in the mix. A friend of a son now trapped in the fix. Justice denied in the court of system. Lost in the hate. No weapon found, just a story to tell. Circumstantial truth turned to prison cell. Hours after the crime, they pointed their blame, but the system's a game. It's a cold, cruel shame. O'Brien's future shattered, no chance to defend. With politics playing, it's a twisted trend. Riley steps up with his eyes on the crown, announcing his bid while the truth shuts down. 8 days after verdict, ambition in sight, playing with lies while he bathes in the light. In the court of fate, a kid in the system, lost in the hate. No weapon found, just a story to tell. Circumstantial truth turned to prison cell. Turn to prison cell. They overlook clues, leave swept to the side. Inconvenient truths, where's the shame and the pride? Ignored by the cops, just chasing their tails, while the real killer laughs as justice derails. So many questions that need to arise. What's the cost of a life when the system lies? Obrien stood tall, but the pressure was great. A child of the streets, crushed under the weight. Imprisoned by fear, trapped in the scheme, while Janet's memory fades, lost in the dream. We fight for the truth, for the souls they mislead. Justice for Janet will plant the truth seed. Justice denied in the court of fate. A kid in the system, lost in the hate. No weapon found, just a story to tell. Circumstantial truth turned to prison cell. Truth that we hide.
Raise our voices for the truth.
Janet down in her name we confide. Let's break these chains. Let's reclaim our time. A search for the truth through this lyrical rhyme.
Oh yeah, that was all right. That was good. That was good. What's going on, everybody, man? How are we doing? No.
Yeah.
Oh, salute everybody, man. How is your day going? Good. Let me know if you're having any problems getting, leaving comments, your super chats, the memberships. I think I took care of it. I think I did. Somehow things got hidden. I don't know. But what's up, man? We back. Eddie Obrien, man. It's free Eddie all day. Do me a favor, though. Hit the subscribe button. I think I only need 3 subs to get to 700. It's slow growing, I gotta say. It's slow growing. What is everybody up to, man? How we doing today? Let me know. We got sound check. Can everybody hear me fine? Let me get the goals up there as well. I'll get that in a minute. But y'all know you can hit the super chat if you want. Venmo, that can we keep it real, one word. But do me a favor, man. More important than anything, right? Subscribe. Right? Smash that like button. And if you really, really rock with the movement, right? Become a member. It keeps the platform growing, right? It keeps the truth loud. It keeps the fight alive. It keeps us paying for the online. It keeps us paying for the StreamYard. So any money that you kick in, it just goes right back into the stream because we growing here. But what's up, everybody, man? We back. Welcome to the chat, man. This one, oh my God. Let a fool think he won. You know what I'm saying? Let a fool think he won. come on, man. Sit down, wipe your feet, man. We got some things to unpack today. You ever notice how sometimes you gotta let a fool think he won? Not because he did, but because arguing with him will drop your IQ like a bad stock. You know what I mean? See, fools don't realize, right? You don't forget, right? You didn't fold. Good morning, man. Welcome. You know, you didn't fold, you didn't break. You just took the one to the chin and didn't take it to the heart. You gotta let a fool think he won every once in a while, you know? And don't take it to heart, because the heart, oh, that's sacred territory right there, you know? Don't let them clowns rent space in there. You know, you can't let chaos take out a mortgage. You know, you don't let somebody's insecurity become your emotional roommate. Oh, the metaphors just keep coming. You know, but sometimes you just gotta let it go. You gotta walk away just so you can grow. You know, because growth, that shit don't happen in the mud. You know what I mean? Growth happens in comments, right? There it is. Free Bird forever. Free Eddie. Thank you for all you do for Eddie. Can't wait for Eddie's Rule 30. Let's go. Blessings to you. Thank you, man. I'm glad I was able to take care of that again. Free Bird. I apologize. You know, it was you. And yes, you can finally count. I'm happy. I couldn't figure it out. I worked third shift all night. I'm driving. I'm trying to figure it out. I had to get home, get behind my computer, you know, but we figured it out. But I apologize about that. You know, but sometimes, we're talking about sometimes you just gotta let a fool grow. You know, because you can't take it to heart, right? You don't let chaos take out a mortgage on you, right? You don't let someone's insecurities become tied down. But sometimes you gotta let it go and walk away just so you can grow. So we can grow. Because growth don't happen in the mud. I mean, real shit happens in the mud, but not growth. We're not gonna grow rolling around in the dirt. You know, don't let growth, you know, growth pick you up. You know, growth don't happen in the middle of a fool's parade. Remember that. Growth happens when you step back, when you breathe, and you say, look, I ain't arguing with somebody who still thinks Wi-Fi is a personal trait. And let's be real, right? Because half these people out here swinging at you, half these people out here so did I. I hate when anybody can't comment that shit, you know, and you support the program, you know, so we gotta hate it even more, you know, but I'm glad everything's situated, man. Yeah, half these people out here, right, they want to see you grow, but then when you start growing, they want to slow that shit down, you know. They're not fighting for you. They're not fighting for Eddie. They're fighting for their own reflection. You just happen to walk by at the wrong time sometimes, you know? You know, and I tell people all the time, you have to be built different. And as I was growing up, I grew up around a lot of, you know, old timers, a lot of wise guys, you know, from Federal Hill, you know, even down working at the Civic Center, Mickey Bailey, you know what I mean? And they were teaching me all my life that, you know, you have to live by a code. Once you figure out that code, you know, you have to live by that code, you know? And once you stop breaking that, things start falling apart, you know? But today, chat, man, we're talking about fools that grow. They know when to let somebody bring them in the mud, you know what I mean, and drag them with you. But you just gotta like just let them go. Sometimes you gotta take that hit on the chin. You know, but instead of taking a hit on the chin, smash the like button, subscribe, and if you really rock with the movement, right, go ahead and become a member because I think this community is growing every day. You know, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate, you know, everything about Eddie O'Brien, and I never even met the O'Briens, you know, but I respect crap out of them, everything that they've been going through. And every day, the more information that I read, the more crazier it gets. You know what I mean? But give me a minute. We'll be right back, man. How about this? We're going to play the song that we put together for Eddie, man. Charge me, but I'm not guilty.
Yeah. Left my house feeling good, sun shining bright. So Tony G on the porch, just a casual sight. But then I glanced it down, his door wide ajar. I had to check it out, my heart racing like a car. I stepped into the entrance, felt the chill of the night. Heard some noise from within, never thought it felt so right. With the creak of the door, darkness feel like a wave. What I saw left me frozen, man, I couldn't be brave. You can charge me, but I'm not guilty. Caught in a moment, life's a little filthy. Wasn't ready for the shadows lurking near, but I hold my ground, got nothing to fear. I called out to Janet, but silence gripped my throat. My instincts kicked in hard like I'm on a tightrope. Bend down to shake a heart pounding like a drum. But what I saw next made me feel so numb. Blood on the floor like a canvas dread. Thoughts racing through my mind, what happened? Where's she dead? Caught in the scene like an actor in a play. Hoping that somehow I could just walk away. You can charge me, but I'm not guilty. Life's a battlefield, got my eyes wide, feel free. Darkness all around, but I still choose to fight. Got nothing to hide, stepping into this light. In the neighborhood where shadows cast long. Every step I take feels like I'm doing something wrong. But I'm just a witness caught in a strange view. Justice on the line, but what's a man to do? Finger pointed at me, but I can't take the blame. Standing tall in this arena, it's a twisted game. The sirens well outside, bringing chaos and heat. But truth is on my side, I won't accept defeat. Life's a rough patch, it's a turbulent sea. But in the stormy moment, I stand, I am free. No incriminations here, it's just a misunderstanding. But time will reveal truths, no need for demanding. So I keep my head high, I won't fall to the bow. Charging through the thick air, stating here and now. You can charge me, but I'm not guilty. Caught in a whirlwind, but I stand gracefully. Life's twisted plots can try to bring me down, but I'm stronger than the shadows. Wear the truth like a crown.
That's right, free Eddie O'Brien. Free Eddie O'Brien, you can charge me, but I'm not guilty, man. What's going on?
Sun shining bright. So Tony G on the porch, just to catch.
Tony G on the porch. But yeah, man, so shout out to everyone holding it down. You know, I think there's more people here that are free Eddie that are not. I mean, it's really, you know, the only people that I really see that are against Eddie is people that can't stand JFK. You know what I mean? People that can't stand them guys, you know, and people that are Downing related. But I see more people that are basically, you know, free Eddie O'Brien. You know, but then there's just some ignorance. There's just some people that are just ignorant. You know, you just can't say anything else about them except they are just ignorant. And I love when I get hit with the question that when I say that I tell them like this. I tell them that I feel that 30 years in the box, 30 years in the joint, that Eddie O'Brien, regardless of anything, I said, I think he's done his time, and he should be let out. Um, and when the question comes back that, but what if this was your mother? And I was like, that's not a fair question. Would you feel that way if it was your mother? I mean, nobody would feel that way if it was their mother. But if you step back, right? If you step back and you look at the Eddie O'Brien case on its merits, and you say, all right, he got convicted by a jury. I would never see a jury of your peers because jury is never your peers. You know what I mean? He got convicted by a jury, and most juries barely have a high school diploma. That's no BS. That's the God's honest truth. Most juries, depending on who the judge is, if it's a law scholar judge, a judge that's there because he just loves the law, I would rather go with a bench trial than a jury trial. But if it's a politician judge, I don't not so much. You know, but that reversal that happened, I mean, let's break this down in plain English because I think the legal system it loves to talk in circles, right? Lady Liberty needs glasses, she a blind ass bitch, respectfully. And YouTube let me know that the only money that I will be getting is if we get like super chats and memberships right now until I get over like 1,000 subs. And I said that's fine. I'm good with super chats. I'm good with the memberships. I'm good with my people. They support me. I support them. But the legal system loves to talk in circles. And Massachusetts was involved with the play that changed the game. But we can't just throw a kid away forever. I think there's over 50 kids that were, well, they were kids then, 50 men that were convicted basically as children in Massachusetts that was affected when this law changed. So it didn't just apply to the Eddie O'Brien. It didn't just apply to one case. It opened that door for more than 60 people, I think 50, 60 people in the state. People that were convicted of first degree murder before they were even old enough to vote. They couldn't drive, they were already convicted of first degree. They couldn't understand the world that they were even living in. 60 lives, 60 families, all destroyed. 60 families who've been carrying decades of pain, waiting for someone in power to admit the system got it wrong. And it finally did get it right. But the same laws that they changed to convict Eddie O, right? And then they changed them laws because they realized that them laws weren't right and they screwed up. Even the dude that came up with the and I talked about it all week. The super predator BS. Even the guy that created that shit said, "Yo, I got it wrong. My bad." Cuz he knew. He knew that they got it wrong. And the part that they don't want to talk about to even qualify for a parole hearing, right? You have to have served at least 15 on your bid, right? That's childhood, adolescent, and adulthood all rolled into one long stretch of concrete and steel. And guess who falls into that category? Eddie O'Brien, a kid who was only 15 years old when the system decided it was easier to use a political symbol, right, than to treat Eddie as a boy, as a kid, like he was. A kid who's became a headline, right, instead of a defendant. You know, Eddie, who is now a grown ass man, big ass dude, still fighting for the chance the law says he deserved. And meanwhile, the Downing family, you know, a salute to them. They have been, I'm sure they had years of heartbreak. They're fighting just as hard on the other side, terrified of losing the version of the story that they were given back in 1995. And that's the tension. That's that's the heartbreak, right? That's the reality of the juvenile justice reform. And I think we're losing that. I mean, I don't think that people are understanding that juveniles. This isn't about, villains. It isn't about heroes. You know, this is about a system that finally admitted that we got it wrong. Oh no, you hit someone else? Another Patricia, but different last name. I don't know how to change my screen name or whatever it is on YouTube. All right, so you're hidden too, huh? Hello, Mr. O'Brien, man. What a great, great man. I watched his interview again last night. I mean, I was wondering if Mr. O'Brien was interested in, because I don't really want to use JFK's material, just because I just would rather not. I do at times, but I was just wondering if maybe if he's willing to one day, him and the wife, maybe the weekend, just come on the platform, and just talk a little bit about Eddie, like how he was coming up in the system, about the years inside. I'm interested in, how it affected Eddie the person. I mean, we already heard all the stuff about Boston Street, and I mean, I think there's so much more to the story here. So if Mr. O'Brien is interested in maybe coming on the platform, and if anyone else wants to come on and talk about Eddie O'Brien, or somebody involved in it, that may be interested, I have a friend of Eddie's that yes, look at the evidence. The evidence will show he didn't do it, period. I have a longtime friend of Eddie's that love the O'Brien family, love them to pieces. They said that I believe he is going to come on the show, and he's going to let us know. And I think he even knows the Ortiz family, but we don't let people know because we don't want to get sabotaged. You know what I mean? We don't want to get sabotaged over here. But Randall, is Patricia able to at least watch it now on? I noticed Just another Patricia with a different last name. I don't know how to change my screen name or whatever it is on YouTube. Um, Patricia, I'm so sorry. I dropped my phone, and when I picked it up, I had hidden you. It was not on purpose. This is too easy. Now I see how it happened to others. She can watch, just not comment. Okay, okay. All right, then give me. LG says I have hidden her. Okay, give me let me see if I can figure this out. Hold on. Hold on. Give me a minute.
Yo, listen up, I got a story to tell about the strong women who raised me well. Yo, I grew up in a house full of queens, strong women teaching me to chase my dreams. Saw my mom grind, juggling, working home. Taught me respect, made me feel less alone while you flex your muscles, thinking that's power. I learned true strength in the toughest hour. You swing fists, you think that makes you a man, but real warriors protect, they don't need a hand. Yeah, it's respect over aggression, that's the game we play. Real strength comes from the heart, it ain't just a display. For every queen that raised me, I honor they fight. In a world full of chaos, I'm just seeking the light. My grandmother's wisdom, it echoes in my soul. Treat women with respect, that's how you roll. You think aggression's a sign of your might, but a real man knows how to stand up and fight. For those who can't, for those who are weak, instead of throwing punches, have a heart when you speak. Yeah, it's respect over aggression, that's the game we play. Real strength comes from the heart, it ain't just a display. For every queen that raised me, I honor they fight. In a world full of chaos, I'm just seeking the light. You're a king now, you ain't got the throne. Real kings uplift, they're not out here alone. In a world where ego rules, I stay grounded and true. Building up my circle like my mother's taught me to do. So listen close, this isn't just art, it's a testament of strength, straight from the heart. I'm a product of queens, respecting my veins. Let the legacy live on through joys and the pains. Yeah, it's respect over aggression, that's the game we play. Real strength comes from the heart, it ain't just a display. For every queen that raised me, I honor their fight. In a world full of chaos, I'm just seeking the light.
All right. We got that taken care of. Oh, no. All right, there we go. We got that taken care of. What's going on? Shooting informants, not drugs. What's going on, man? You a big deal over there in the JFK chat. Salute, man. Welcome. I know I seen you over here, I think a couple days ago. Now let's try not to hide anybody else, please. Moderators, all right? Don't hide no one else. But Eddie Obrien, man, a kid who is 15, when this friggin' piece of shit system, decided that it was easier to use this kid as a political doormat, than to treat him as a person, and I hear some people talking, and I was like, the friggin' disrespect. What are we supposed to do? Just throw this kid away? You know what I mean? Throw him away. I mean, this kid became a headline instead of a defendant. And I told people the other day, I said, look, whatever. Eddie should have, at the very least, right, got juvenile, got some reform, got some counseling, got the medical, he should have got the mental help that he needed, right? Instead, this piece of shit O'Reilly, right, throws him to the wolves, put, puts him in Walpole, thinks the system's gonna eat him up alive, right? And what happens? Eddie makes prison better. Eddie makes prison better from what I heard for a lot of inmates that were locked up with him. Now I did time, right? I don't deny that. I'm a convict. You know what I mean? I in the joint you have convicts and you have inmates. There's definitely a difference between convicts and inmates. You know, my man JFK will think that a convict has to be released, and I said, no, I don't think you understand. You're not getting it. But yeah, there's convicts and there's inmates. You know, there's definitely a difference. You know, and you just wanted to throw this kid to the wolves, and he made prison better. And everybody that I've talked to that been locked down or that maybe took a trip to Walpole back in the day, you know, talked about that. From what they know, Eddie was a stand-up guy. Oh yeah, no, yeah, no, we are definitely all convicts. But I'm sure you know, shooting, that in the joint there's them people that are just they toe that line, and then there's that stand up guy. You know what I mean? A lot of the stand up guys, you know, them are like the old school convicts. You know, they already put their time in when the joint was real. You know, Eddie's a good person when it has been around him. Will say the same. That's what I get. I mean, Eddie definitely, and like I said, O'Reilly thought that you know the system was going to eat that kid alive, and it probably should have. It probably should have. You know, and he made it better. He brought programs. He did the visiting. You know, he just brought plenty of programs to the prison, and he actually made it a lot better. You know, this is a hot freaking story. You know what I mean? That's the reality of the justice system. Free Eddie, you're back now. Everybody should be back now. You know what I mean? I apologize to everybody that's hit him, but straightened out now. I mean, but I like stories about villains and heroes. You know, I think it's a system that said got it wrong with, and they learned that with the super predator law. And I did plenty of shows talking about that. Eddie deserves to live his life the way he wants to now. And I say, like, I'll go to Disney with Eddie. You know what I mean? Like, I'll ride in the car on the side of Eddie. You know what I mean? Like, you know? One second. I'll ride it. You know, I'll go to Disney with you, Eddie. You know what I mean? But now the truth has to be re-examined. You know, the truth has to be reread. One second. I'm trying. The truth has to be reread, re-examined. The inconsistencies have to be confronted, right? The politics have to be stripped away. Yeah, it's my grandson in the background. You know, you're a cute one. Because innocent people don't expire. You know what I mean? And justice doesn't happen by accident. And if you're listening to this, you're definitely part of this movement to free Eddie Obrien. Because I'll say straight up, there's no confusion here. This is a free Eddie OB channel. You know what I'm saying? Free miles for free Eddie. This is a free Eddie O'Brien channel, just like this anti-Turtle Boy channel. You know what I mean? But smash the like, become a member so we can keep this going. Yeah, my grandchildren in the background. You know, so keep talking free Eddie, you know, because there's a lot of things I think that we need to talk about. And listen, there's a great website. I tell everybody. There's a great website, you know, the truth about EddieO'Brien.com. Go to that website. There's everything that you need to know that's in that website. You know, a lot of stuff about the Rule 30. The website has basically everything that you need to know about how Eddie got screwed the hell over. You know, and let's not get it twisted. He got screwed. He got screwed the hell over. You know, he definitely got screwed over. There's so many inconsistencies. Like, never mind Adi. There's inconsistencies with everybody. Ryan. Let's not act like Ryan is a saint in all this. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, so what happened over there, Ryan? You know? But there's so much to be broken down, right? Because this website, this isn't just a page, it ain't just a timeline, a receipt folder. I mean, this is a 30-year cover up sitting all at one website. 30-year cover up. I'm going to pull it up now. I just got to take Eddie's picture down. Give me a second. A 30-year cover up. You know, that's what you're looking at when you read this website. All in one place. I mean, this site lays out the entire truth about Eddie O'Brien, you know, who's only 15 years old when Mass decided to make him a political doormat instead of giving him justice, you know, instead of giving, you know, giving him a life, right? And everything on this page. This is all documented information. It's all sourced. It's receipts that the jury never saw. So much information the jury didn't have a chance to see. You know, the truth the state never wanted to say out loud. Like Eddie O'Brien was 15 years old, wrongfully convicted, right? 30 years in the joint. No fingerprints match this kid. You know why the Downings are not talking. We don't have to say why the Downings are not talking. We know why they're not talking. See, Ryan was very convincing from what I heard when this all went down, convincing all the kids around his age why Eddie did this. We know why the Downings are not talking. The guilty shouldn't talk. You know? Oh, thank you for the $20 super chat from Freebird Goals. Let's go. Who's going to match Freebird forever? You know, there's over 10 witnesses, right, supporting Eddie's alibi, right? That alone should stop the world. Like 10 witnesses. But the world didn't stop. Eddie's life stopped. You know, and then how about the timeline that destroys the case? I mean, this is the part that hits like a friggin' hammer. This part hits like a hammer. I mean, you gotta go to this site. I mean, it gives a minute by minute reconstruction, you know, of July 23rd, 95. You got police reports in there. You know, you got grand jury testimonies. You got witness statements. I mean, why didn't we see this years ago? You know, this stuff, this timeline, it exposes so much the contradictions, the inconsistencies. How about the impossible, like, sequence of events? Like, I get so excited when I start getting into, you know, this case because I'm like, this is like, we can do this. How many times are we trying to free somebody and it's like, we can't do it. But this is a case that we have a chance. We have a real fighting chance to get one right. Eddie's not a convict. Eddie's not a, like, you know, shit happened. You know, Eddie's up in a joint, and Eddie was able to stand tall. Eddie was able to stand taller than some made men stand. It was easy. Right, exactly. It was easy to blame Eddie. You know, it was definitely very easy to blame Eddie, you know? And I'm not gonna, like, I could hold out and say, well, you know, I'm not really sure. I don't want to say because I think I'm gonna get the Downing family on the show. They're never coming on. They're never coming on the show. Thank you for the $4.99 free Eddie. Absolutely. You know, they will never come on the show. So what am I going to do? Hold out and pretend to be nice and to pretend that, you know, Adi, you know, I know. Come here. Come cry on my shoulder. I mean, I can't do that. Too many lies, too many inconsistencies, you know? And we try to tell your boy, you know, oh, they took my blood. Yeah, they might have took it, but they never tested it. And that's a fact. But look at some of the alibis that the prosecution ignored. 8 p.m. when Paul Downing Jr. he testifies, you know. Another inconsistency, the same witness but a different story 30 minutes later, 8:30 p.m. And then Eddie, it's confirmed that Eddie leaves his house about 9:10 by multiple witnesses. Then you got David and you got Ann Lee. You know, they seen Eddie. I mean, this alone should blow up the prosecution's case. How about, like, I mean, this is where the site starts to get surgical. Let me get over there. When you get over to the exculpatory evidence and you start breaking this stuff down, right? This is where this shit gets surgical. Let's hit them goals. Let's go. You know, the evidence that they hid, the evidence that they buried. How about the evidence they misrepresented? You know, what was suppressed, what was ignored? Shit, what they misrepresent? Everything. What didn't they show to the jury? Everything. A lot of shit. Oh, don't even talk about, don't even say it. Don't even talk about the fingerprints. That's why I said, man, I would have loved to do a freaking debate with JFK, man. He pretend he never even, I've been trying all week. I've been challenging him. I know he hears about it. I said, I'll debate you. He tried to debate Jay Brill last night, and shout out to Jay Brill. Like, no one has worked harder than Jay Brill, you know, on this case. But Jay Brill, like, I debate him. You know what I mean? Like, no fingerprints matching Eddie, zero. You know, the DNA, the prosecution refused to test anyone else. They didn't delay it. They refused to test anyone else after Quantico calls them back and was like, yeah, nah, that shit ain't gonna work on Obrien. He said, oh shit, stop everything. Hold up, wait a minute. Hold it down. You know, like, they just didn't want to test the DNA evidence. They said they didn't get fingerprints, but right here, I'm looking for prints. Were you examining all the doorways to see where a person would come in or go out or may not have left prints? We viewed the doorways, but again, we worked along the crime scene. The entire house was not the crime scene, and which I kind of got that. Like, I was kind of thrown off by that. He said the entire house was not the crime scene. So he said, which was the foyer area, that narrow area walking through the dining room. So he said, outside the blood trail, they didn't bother looking for fingerprints. You know what I mean? So he said, as it went on the left, the angle, the blood trail went to the basement door. So they didn't even bother testing outside of the blood trail, which I thought was kind of crazy. You know, I'm like, how do you not test that? The guy that testified that worked at Midnight Convenience got a cush job after that testimony. I would also think one would look at all the kids. They made me have jobs given to them. Great point. You know, what type of jobs did they get? You know, that yep. Good point. So much evidence was not let into trial, and we have to look at a lot of that. We have to look at the evidence that they didn't let in. The denial of testing other suspects. That was big. The prosecutor refused to allow DNA test. He refused to allow DNA testing on anybody else, which I was kind of like dumbfounded by that, because usually, like at a murder trial, there's things that they let you you get a little more leeway. So Eddie's attorney filed a motion to compel the production of hearing blood samples, right, of Paul Sr., Paul Jr., Ryan, Kerry, Adi, and the DA was in possession. He already had it. He was already in possession of it. All he had to do was hand it over and be like, okay, the ADA objected to this motion. They ended up denying it. The motion to compel. Why? See, so the judge is in on it too. It says Paul Downing Sr., Paul Downing Jr., Ryan Downing, and Adi Ortiz could not be excluded as possible contributors to some blood samples collected at the crime scene during the serology testing. DA Tom Riley never sent their blood samples to Cellmark Laboratories to compare their DNA to the blood found at the scene that went unidentified. See that, Goofy? I'm talking to you, Artie. The shit was never tested. It was never tested. Not at all. Like your boy says in training day, I'll make sure your blood never gets to the lab. you know? Like, what do you think about that document? And then the judge gets involved in it, right? And he was like, all right, that takes care of that, doesn't it? Oh, I bet it does. So Eddie's lawyer says, what's the title of that particular motion? I see it, Your Honor. The judge says, do you have it? Motion to be furnished with copy of fingerprint examination. That takes care of that. Then motion for order to compel production and hearing samples. So he denied it. He said, that is directed once again, Your Honor. I believe the Commonwealth objects to it, but let me see what they say. He already knew what they say. Oh, O'Reilly's a complete objection, Your Honor. Shit. There's no basis for it. No basis. And I can't believe that Bob George didn't argue harder on having no basis. Are you serious? The ex-husband? No basis? The kid who just gave his mother a beating the day before? No basis for it? A friggin' daughter that's off the rails, in and out of shelters and stuff? No basis. Like, really? She said you didn't want to talk to Gina Mahoney, who was with her 10 hours the day before she was murdered. And then Bob George even put, some case law. At least he was able to do that. But 170,000, you don't bring in no experts. So we attached a memorandum for a motion for evidence of other suspects, of the Commonwealth's knowledge of other suspects in this case, on a basis of that same case law. that I have a right, defended Mr. Obrien, to examine and secure as many blood samples as I can to compare them to what was found at the scene. That's why I'm seeking these things I need. And you would think the court would be like, oh, absolutely. The court, nope, I'm denying the motion to compel the production of hair and blood samples. You're denying it, Your Honor. Really? Oh, of course you are. He said, with regards to Paul Downing, Jr., Sr., Ryan, Kerry Ann, and then check this out. Who is Ortiz? You don't get the file in front of you? Oh, there's nothing in the file on the audio Ortiz in this whole case? What? Oh, brother-in-law of the victim judge. And then the judge says, oh, and Ortiz. Wow. The judge didn't even know who the hell he was. So, Mr. George, that's the least you can do. Please note my objection. So the court ends up saying, motion for suppression of the jury, and that could be dealt with by the trial judge. The next motion I have is inspection of evidence by defendant's experts. Shit, did he even bring in any experts? All the blood samples other than the ones that were subject to the court order allowing tested evidence preserved for defendant's experts in coordination with our chemist, as well as our fingerprint expert that may view any pieces of evidence that they want. Do you see the BS in this case? How do you not allow the defendant for DNA testing? How do you not allow, like, all right, let's get the blood samples of them? You're defending this kid for his life. I love that one. Riley is a little evil man liar. I pray he cannot sleep. And he has the agony of what they say, the frustration of fleas on 1,000 camels' balls. Let Riley have that. They believe Riley. I think Riley sold so much fear into him. They believed. Is it out there?
Yes.
They believed the fear. They were afraid, and that's what convicted Eddie. He got convicted on the fear.
He said, she said, shit.
It was just he just got everybody. He just sold the whole neighborhood. Oh my God, this crazy guy. He sold them all on the fear. Eddie got all Riley's notes. There are some notes in here too, and I actually transcribed some of them. And big shout out, yeah, absolutely, man. Riley's note says it all. Find the dirt. Yes, find the dirt, blow it out of proportion. You know what? Give me a minute. I'm gonna see if I can find them. Let's rock out to some Eddie O.B. music. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what we have here. Let's rock out while I find this stuff. Let's see. No? Internet doing internet things again, unfortunately. Unreal. All right, give me a minute. I'm gonna grab I'm gonna get them notes, what I have of them.
Yeah, another round. Let's go. When every breakup ends in flames, but when you know. Yeah. Yo, when every split starts a war, it's no surprise. Every exit target got that chip on my eyes. Carolina Lindsay, all smooth like butter. But Meredith, nah, she climbed out the gutter. She didn't play the game, she flipped the script. Leaked messages hit hard like a cruise sun whip. Yo, Dawson on the rise, they spilling my tea. It's easier to blame her when you can't even see.
You're the common denominator. Ain't the ones who left. It's the mindset you wear. It's the rage you've kept. When every breaker's about to blame, it's no waiting flames. When every lover's wanna eat the problem in this twisted game. Look at the record, see the lies they tell. We're ready to talk now. Can't you see she ain't fell? Yeah.
Can't you see she ain't fair? Causing violence like it's all a show, huh? Public meltdowns, master latest and low. Wanna paint her a villain when she spoke the truth. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, you pull all the sleuths. These tactics is classic, turning friends into foes. I see the problem when your shadows will grow. Every woman that leaves, nah, it ain't their fault. Why can't you see the cycle, man? You built this vault, yo.
When you play her for a fool, make a chest move blind. You just flex that narrative, see the way it unwinds. When every breakup's about to play, each moment lit in flames. When every lover suddenly the problem in this twisted game. Look at the record, see the lies they tell. We're ready to tall and proud. Can't you see she ain't fell?
Yeah. Can't you see she ain't fair? So here's the lesson, if you dare to engage. When the cycle of blame is just part of the stage. Remember, merge the one who didn't take the heat. When the common denominator's you, don't you dare hit repeat. Can't you see she ain't fair? I'ma stand that we're done with the lies.
Yeah, we gon' take a moment before we dive in.
Let me show some love, you know. Yeah, flow.
Turn on the stream, feel the energy rise. Shout out to the fam, the ones in the skies. Every comment, every laugh keeps the vibe alive. You're the heartbeat of the chat, yeah, we thrive. Pulling up each night, ready to roll, you make this place lit. Body and soul, vibes in the back, heavy lifting, they don't play. Keeping it smooth, watching traffic every day. Peacekeepers on alert, holding down the fort. Crew full of love, every stream they support. To the chat, to the crew, yeah, we shine bright. Are the backbone of the night, holding us tight. To the members, true believers, making it real. You're the pulse in our heart, let's do the deal. To the chat, to the crew, yeah, we shine bright. Are the backbone of the night, holding us tight. To the members, true believers, making it real. You're the pulse in our heart, let's do the deal.
We see you dedicated, going the extra mile. Not just watching you invested, that's the style.
Lights on, vibe strong, every show's a hit. Communing together, can't take a minute to quit. You keep us going, no watered down vibe. From the chest to the miles, no we thrive.
Major respect to the ones who keep it clean. Clean up crew rolling, y'all know what I mean. Don't try it today, they say with a glance. Bringing peace to the chaos, giving us a chance. To the chat, to the crew, yeah we shine bright. Y'all the backbone of the night, holding us tight. To the members, true believers, making it real. You're the pulse in our heart, let's do the deal. To the chat, to the crew, yeah we shine bright. You're the backbone of the night, holding us tight. We don't deal. Just know this is true. We appreciate every single one of you. This is our moment, community's the key. Let's get it poppin', let's set the stream free. So here's to the chat mods and members like, oh, you're the heart of the stream and that's never getting old. Now let's get into it, yeah, we ride on time. With you by our side, every night's a prime.
Yeah, we out it down. This community's love, wear it like a crown.
I'ma stand that we're done with the lies. Yeah. Listen up, it's Turtle Boy time. Yeah. Yeah, and Turtle Boy, you twisted, what's the game you play? Flashing pictures of your kids, or we just your prey? In the bathtub, smiling while you shatter trust. Behind your keyboard, preaching every code, that's a must. You talk that talk, but your actions scream loud. Wrecking families like it's nothing, man, you're lost in the crowd. While John O'Keefe's out here standing for his crew. You throwing shade, but we all know the truth. Witness, intimidation, what's your motive, what's your drive? Harassment rolling thick, but so is pressure to survive. You think it's loyalty, but it's willful blindness now. Too many women turning blind eyes, tell me how.
We're done with the lies, done with the hate. Turtle Boy, we see your time's up, don't wait. Cyberbullying shadows, stalking in the dark, but we rise up strong, ready to make our mark. We're done with the lies, done with the hate. Turtle Boy, we see your time's up, don't wait. Cyberbullying shadows, stalking in the dark, but we rise up strong, ready to make our mark.
Conspiracies with exes got you rolling in dirt, trying to frame others while you cling to that hurt. Health ain't just a word, man, it's a way to be. But you cling to the chaos, acting all carefree. You thought you could hit and run, leaving scars behind. While we rise and shine, you remain blind, trying to smoke out those who want to keep it real. But Turtle Boy, it's your own truth you conceal. People excusing behavior, girl, you crazy. 98% of women, and that's just lazy. Can't you see the wreckage you're cruising through? This ain't loyalty, it's delusion, it's all untrue.
We're done with the lies, done with the hate. Turtle Boy, we see your time, so don't wait. Cyberbullying shadows, stalking in the dark, but we rise up strong, ready to make our mark. We're done with the lies, done with the hate. Turtle Boy, we see your time's up, don't wait. Cyberbullying shadows, stalking in the dark, but we rise up strong, ready to make our mark. We're standing, we're fighting for justice and grace. Time to break the silence, time to take your place. In history where cowards fall to the weight of their shame. Turtle Boy, remember the name, yeah, the game.
No more hiding behind screens. No more raising the lash. We're taking back the night. It's time to make a splash. Remember this moment when you spiral down. We're united. Welcome to fierce. Welcome to our.
All right, I got it. I found them. Damn, that was tough. I found them. I found the notes. That's insane. He should have been free on appeal. Wasn't his lawyer a hot mess? His lawyer almost beat him to prison himself. His lawyer almost beat him himself to prison. All right, let me get back to where we were. Let's see. Let's see. This one was, let's see. On July 31st at 11:25 hours, this officer, along with Sergeant Robert Boy of the Somerville Police Department, interviewed Mr. Cavanaugh at the principal's office at the Don Bosco High School. Mr. Cavanaugh described Ed Obrien as a quiet, shy kid. He never had any problems with him. Let me show. Oh, all right. Hold on. Damn, Mike, you slacking, bro. Here we are. Mr. Cavanaugh is the basketball coach and told us that Mr. O'Brien played on a freshman team. He didn't stop playing until early February after the season started. He was eligible academically. However, his father wanted him to spend more time studying. Cavanaugh described O'Brien's talent on the basketball court as average. He was not an aggressive on the court. Kavanaugh was shocked when he heard of O'Brien's arrest, and he described Obrien as a typically good 15-year-old kid. And even he couldn't believe it. Even he couldn't believe it. And then they spoke with a resident of 36 Hamlet Street, Ann Lee. She said that she was home the night of July 23rd from 8:30 on. She didn't hear anything outside the house until the cops and the rescue went to 71 Boston Street. Her son David was home too. On July 24th at 11:40 hours, this officer spoke with David Lee. He stated that he got home at 36 Hamlet at about 8:30 and was watching TV. He was in the bathroom with the windows open around 9:30, 9:45, and heard voices in the street. This was interesting. He thought two males saying something like, "What are you doing here? Get the hell out of here." He also thought he heard one person running. What do you guys think about that? That the neighbor thought he heard someone saying, "What are you doing here? Get the hell out of here." Let me see if I can I'm gonna try to see if I can get a screenshot of this. Let me see. Okay, now we have this note. How can anybody make any sense of this? Oh, what the hell, Mike? All right, hold on. How could you make any sense of this friggin' note? But guess what? I think we got you. I think we got you. So we ended up transcribing this note, right? I just had to look for it in a computer. Transfer here in mass should be used in a battle of the experts. Discovery, W class 1, there's an act, the letter, or other case. Rebuttal presumption, who goes first? Persuaded versus cautionary, prejudice of evidence. Non-designated, cost automatic, clear and convincing, hear and move on. Then care, denied a motion of transfer. Two categories, dangerous and not amendable. 95% of the time not successful, 5% success rate. Transfer successful. Rule 208, CL felonies should hold the transfer hearing. Let me see if this helps. Maybe a cup of coffee works. Oh, yeah. Ouch. That was hot.
Sorry.
So yeah, to try to understand this shit, it's like, and that's probably why they write like that. So transfer hearing, right? It's when the court basically decides whether a kid should be tried as a juvenile or an adult. So when he said over here, battle of the experts, where is it? He says battle of the experts, right? So he's basically trying to say, look, that both sides are going to bring in psychologists, doctors, specialists. That's what they thought. I don't think George, according to the Obrien, didn't bring in anybody. So, battle of the experts, right? They're going to do what? They're going to argue over whether the kid is mature or not. Is he dangerous? Is he capable of being rehabilitated? And from what I read, that they love. I'll definitely come back and catch all your comments, I promise. But I think we got to take to have a good day out of here, right? I mean, like, all right, we don't got to be reminded to have a good day, buddy. What are you doing? But yeah, they're gonna argue whether over the kid's mature or not, he's dangerous or capable of even being rehabilitated. And that's what should have happened. He should have got the rehabilitation. And that's where in this box right here it says, right here, battle of the experts. Right here, discovery. Right here, he has. Can everybody see this? He has discovery, right? Discovery. Where does he have it? Discovery. And over here, okay, all right. So discovery meaning, I think, what evidence each side has to share. Yeah, I'm thinking that's what each side has to share. Class one. These probably referring to a category of the disclosures that they have to put out. The defense should get everything. They should get the reports, the letters, prior cases before the hearing. That's all part of a discovery. When you get a discovery, which means the other side has to give you all their shit. Like we see a lot of times they don't. They hold out. Because how it should go is you show me all the shit you're gonna present. I'm gonna show you everything I'm gonna present. We're both gonna present it to the judge, and that's where they make up the argument, and that's why it's each side should know what the other side's doing. But it don't always happen that way. Now the other one is right here. It says rebuttal presumption. I mean, how am I doing, guys? Tell me. I mean, I'm breaking down this friggin' crazy ass note. Am I being a good host? Let me know. I'm just curious, or am I just tooting my own horn? Because I think it's tough for an hour and 29 minutes to bring you guys straight content and keep it entertaining. Am I doing an okay job? That's all. I'm just curious, But I got to run to the big boys room. So give me a minute. Let me know. Am I doing a decent job? Am I doing justice for Eddie Obrien?
They only respect the violence, that's how it goes.
Yeah, they only respect the violence. That's how it goes. Yeah. Cut you on the phone, man, that's how they roll. Real ones moving silent, never let it be told. If you don't walk like a gangster, better check your stride. To test your metal quick, won't let it slide. Talking slick, better watch for the knife. Cause if you a rap, think it's cool, nah, that's not life. Young ones lurking, face got ripped up, it's karma. Toughest one you know when tears call in for mama. Heart's cold when life's given by your honor. Means your ticket's marked in a little ass cell, yeah. In this game, respect is violence. Watch your step on this route, cats doing life for a little ass sale, there's no doubt. Super Bowl, counting in max, years gold, time run slow. Rule number one, choose your commerce, let the real one show. In this game, respected violence, watch your step on this route. Cats doing life for a little ass sale, there's no doubt. Super Bowl, counting in max, years gold, time run slow. Rule number one, choose your commerce, let the real one show. Punks wanna turn you out, sneak thieves out to learn. Watch your moves close, cause they'll be quick to burn. Playing your exit smartly, take everything you got. CEOs wanna test your nerves, didn't let it rot. They were chumps in high school, trying to be tough now. It's survival of the fittest, you get lost in the crowd. That dude you call friend might flip like a switch. Check his file, man, before you let him in your pitch. You feel me? Got the shadows lurking at your back. Trust is a luxury in this life full of cracks. Find out now, cause later's a dangerous phase. In this concrete jungle, it's amazing array. In these games, it's fine. Watch your step on this route. Cats doing life for a little ass sale, there's no doubt. Super Bowl, counting in max, years gold, time or slow. Rule number one, choose your commerce, let the real one show. In this game, respect the violence, watch your step on this route. Cats doing life for a little SL, there's no doubt. Super Bowl, counting in max.
That's right. Super Bowls. You count Soul Trains and Super Bowls every year till you come home. You know, that song was written for Turtle Boy, you know, knowing what a snake he is. You know, and he had a lot of shit to talk about Eddie Obrien, too. You know what I mean? And don't forget, Turtle Boy, when you go up there, Eddie's going to have friends up there, you know, and they're probably going to welcome you to show you, Max, all the grimy shit you were saying about Eddie Obrien. Why? Because JFK was talking about Eddie Obrien, so you thought you would just throw a little sucker shot into Eddie Obrien, which was some sucker-ass shit. You know, I'm just saying. But we'll get back to this. Right, where were we? Rebuttals. Okay. Right. Where's my little mouse here? Let's see on the screen. Okay, right there it says rebuttals. All right, there it is. Rebuttals, presumption, who goes first. So rebuttal presumption, that basically means that the court's going to stop, right, by assuming that one thing is true. You know what I mean? But the defense can challenge it and then prove otherwise. See, in juvenile transfer hearings, the presumption is often the kid should be transferred to the adult court. That's going to be the presumption. The defense has to prove why that shouldn't happen. And then he also writes down who goes first, which side presents evidence first, usually the prosecution. And then let's see. Under that, I believe it says persuaded cautionary prejudice of evidence. So that's going to mean that the judge must be careful about the evidence that might sway them another way. Emotional, prejudicial information, I believe. The judge has to be persuaded by the truth, the facts. He can't let politics get into it, which he does. He can't let fear get into it, which they do. You know, it has to be presented as the facts. Oh, he's absolutely a sneaky liar. 100%. Let's see, what else do we have over here? the non-designated this he's referring to turtle turd is vile. Yeah, that's a sewer turtle. Real vile person. This one is basically, I believe this one is that that these juvenile offenses that automatically trigger these transfer hearings, I think he said be clear and convincing, about the legal standard, higher more likely than not. Lower than beyond a reasonable doubt. The prosecution must show clear evidence, right, that the kid should be tried as an adult. And then I think here and move on, right? A little bit, but right, almost down the bottom here and move on. I had to put this stuff up on the big TV, the big 85-inch, below it, so. But I think we had it figured out. Now, this is describing what the judge often does, right? Here, what do judges do, right? They listen to each side. They listen to the evidence. They should have a checklist that they probably go through. They probably pretend to consider rehabilitation. Oh yeah, rehabilitation, prison's all about that. I say, yeah, I'm sure it is. And then the judge's job is also deny the defense's motion. Meaning what Riley did won't change. He did what he did. Yeah, it was all a game. Move through a checklist, just go through the motions. And the judge knew, he knew his job, deny the defense's motions, as we heard. But most transfer hearings are just formality. The judge already knows the outcome while he's having coffee in the morning. Speaking of coffee, gotta have the coffee. It's crazy because you can go to Walmart now and get an 85-inch under $500. I think I seen 95 inches. It's crazy how cheap televisions are. So, and then I think it says 2 categories down the bottom somewhere. 2 reasons a judge can transfer a kid to adult court, right? Is the kid dangerous? Is he considered to be a threat to public safety? And if they say non-amendable, the kid is seen as not likely to be rehabilitated in that juvenile system. Oh yeah, Walmart, you can get like an 85-inch under 500. Absolutely, they have all different kinds. Because TVs are like disposable now; they're like throwaways. But if the judge finds either one, the kid gets transferred. So, like most likely, most kids were getting transferred back then. 95% of the time, not successful, 5% success rate. And this is the heartbreaking part, right? This means that only 5% of kids win their transfer hearings. Imagine that. 95% of the juveniles back in 1990s got pushed to the adult court system. And this is why the system was stacked. This is why they started building prisons everywhere. If you build them, we'll fill them. And they absolutely filled them. They filled them with kids like Eddie O'Brien. I remember seeing kids when I was in intake. I remember seeing this young kid, Angel, that got waived from training school. But and down the bottom, when he has transfer successful, he already knew it was going to be successful. He knew the prosecution was going to win. The kid's going to be transferred to adult court. And I think somewhere that might have got cut off on this one. Yeah, it ended up getting cut off, but it had Rule 208, and I had to look up what Rule 208 was. It's actually a mass rule, a transfer hearing for certain serious felonies. They don't really use it a lot, especially when the defendant is under 18 years old. So it meant that if a kid was charged with serious felonies, right, that the court has to hold a transfer hearing. But as I was going through some of these notes, I noticed that they were going to use these laws to railroad kids like Eddie O'Brien. And this is why I'm saying that I am a pro Eddie O'Brien channel, because the deck was stacked. It was stacked against Eddie. The judge rarely rules for the defense, and Bob George wasn't doing anything extra to help Eddie. When I told you about the term dangerous and amendable, that's vague. The court system abused the shit out of that. Like, if you start looking this shit up, you'll be surprised how many kids got sucked into the system under the new law. That they changed the new law for Eddie, and they realized that, oh shit, this shit didn't work. We got to change it back. But when they changed that shit back, they never reversed the sentences that they gave all these men, women, who were children at the time. So I ask you again, are we supposed to just throw Eddie O'Brien away? Are we supposed to just throw him away? Berated by Karens in Attleboro, Mass. First Amendment protection order. Oh, we might have to watch that one day. What was the judge's justification for sending him to adult court? That he was dangerous, that he was beyond rehabilitation, that the charges was serious. Like I said, they don't really need a whole lot. 90, I think it said over here that I was reading that only 5% of the kids win their transfer hearing rules, which means 95% of these kids that go through the transfer hearing situation get sent to adult court. I mean, that shit is heartbreaking. The system stacked against the kids. The prosecution wins all the time. The kids are transferred to adult court. Light a cigar. Let's party. No, they didn't want to allow any laws to work for Eddie. The trial de novo system Eddie should have gotten a new trial immediately after to go from bench trial to jury trial. Yeah, and I didn't even know that. And JFK taught me something the other day. Let me see if I have what else I have for the notes over here. Yep, see, there's the Rule 208. See, oh, my mom will be by tomorrow. It's that time of the month. I think that's right. Was it? I'm looking for my information on this note now. Okay, so clear and convincing. All right. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, all right, all right. So we went over the 208, the discovery, all that stuff. At the top of this one, see, the court can order a transfer hearing at any time. That's what he says right here. Court can order a transfer hearing at any time. Bare philosophy to deliver. Clear and convincing evidence. The system, I think it says all right, yeah, DES system. Once at 18, don't ever follow laying that argument. Can hold until 21, not going to happen. That's basically what he says here. It says DES system, once at 18, don't ever follow lay in that argument. Can hold until 21, not going to happen. Read that. Can hold until 18, but not going to happen. Yep. Can hold until 18, but not going to happen.
But they did.
Yeah, DYS, right. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read it, but my eyes aren't cooperating. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Like, I actually had to, like, break it down. This took me quite a while. It says DYS, an argument can hold to 21, but not going to happen. And then when we come down more, rebuttal, presumption, all that, need to overcome in a piece of paper, office that is led. This is good training. Guy also writing good advice. NA legal basis, all be entitled to evaluate ABC and Y evaluation, a court sidebar. It would be wise to know that's not our job. And right here, find the dirt and blow it out of proportion.
Just like Karen.
Break that down. Imagine that. Find the dirt and blow it out of proportion. And I think this note is one of the most revealing pieces. You know, you may think it's random scribble, right? What's written here is damning. Because even the person writing this knows training is wrong. Training is not ethical, you know? Look, this is going to be good training. Good training? You believe he said that shit? This, like, you're dealing with a 15-year-old kid's life, and he's like, oh, this is going to be good. Man, this guy. Well, this is not good training, whatever it was. But even if the person writing this knows it's wrong, this is someone documenting what they're being taught is not right. That's what he's saying. And the guy, Abel rule, giving advice, no legal basis. That means a senior prosecutor, Guy Abel, right, was given instructions that had no legal foundation. In other words, they were teaching prosecutors to do things that weren't supporting the law. He just writes this shit down. He has no shame. They are entitled in valuations. He goes on right over here. Entitled in valuations also to only excellence a court order gives. So what's he saying? That juveniles are entitled to proper psychological evaluations. The DA's office must provide them, but the training suggests they should control or manipulate the evaluation process. We should control or manipulate the process. No shame at all. He had Eddie Obrien in his sights from day one. And then I think he goes on to say something about it would be nice if they let us do our job right here. Then find this shit and blow it out of proportion. They're saying we don't care about fairness. We don't care about rehabilitation. We don't care about the kid. That's not our job. Imagine that piece of shit. Like, imagine that. Like, that's how Riley was thinking. We don't give a shit about this. Let's just convict this kid, send him up the river. Their job in their mind was to win, not to seek justice. They weren't looking for justice here. This wasn't about justice. Find the fault. Find the dirt. Blow that shit up. That shit is probably the most incriminating. Find something small, right? Twist that shit. Grab it by its nuts. Exaggerate it. Use that shit to destroy the kid. And this is exactly what Ryan did to Eddie, right? Took minor behaviors, the newspaper clipping, blow it out of proportion. He works at the corner store. There's porn there. Blow it out of proportion. That's what JFK was talking about. Find something small, blow it out of proportion. Use them to paint Eddie as a monster, you know? Use them to justify an adult transfer. This line alone should be prosecutorial misconduct. The notes alone. And then he goes on to say some shit like detectives should be have failed, right? Right under that. You know, like they were trained to assume failure. So let's assume that the kid's lying. Assume the kid's dangerous. This is just bias training. This isn't justice training. Go over this note, right? And give me a minute. Your boy be right back. We promise. I swear. And then we'll go through some of these comments.
You know the story. It's heavy in the air.
Na, 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 yeah. Left my house feeling good, sun shining bright. So Tony G on the porch, just a casual sight. But then I glanced down his door, wide ajar. I had to check it out, my heart racing like a car. I stepped up to the entrance, felt the chill of the night. Heard some noise from within, never thought it felt so right. With the creak of the door, darkness feel like a wave. What I saw left me frozen, man, I couldn't be brave. You can charge me, but I'm not guilty. Caught in the moment, life's a little filthy. Wasn't ready for the shadows lurking near, but I hold my ground, got nothing to fear. I called out to Janet, but silence gripped my throat. My instincts kicked in hard like I'm on a tightrope. Bend down to shake her heart pounding like a drum. But what I saw next made me feel so numb. Blood on the floor like a canvas dread. Thoughts racing through my mind, what happened? Where's she dead? Caught in the scene like an actor in a play. Hoping that somehow I could just walk away. You can charge me, but I'm not guilty. Life's a battlefield, got my eyes wide, feel free. Darkness all around, but I still choose to fight. Got nothing to hide, stepping into this light. In the neighborhood, where shadows cast long. Every step I take feels like I'm doing something wrong. But I'm just a witness, caught in the strange view. Justice on the line, but what's a man to do? Finger pointed at me, but I can't take the blame. Standing tall in this arena, game.
The sirens well outside, bringing chaos and heat. But truth is on my side, I won't accept defeat. Life's a rough patch, it's a turbulent sea. But in a stormy moment, I stand, I am free. No incriminations here, it's just a misunderstanding. But time will reveal truths, no need for demanding. So I keep my head high, I won't falter or bow. Charging through the thick air, stating here and now.
You can charge me, but I'm not guilty.
Caught in a whirlwind, but I stand gracefully. Life's twisted plots can try to bring me down,
but I'm stronger than the shadows. Wear the truth like a crown. Na, 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 yeah. Left my house feeling good, sun shining bright. So Tony G on the porch, just a casual sight. But then I glanced it down, his door wide ajar. I had to check it out, my heart racing like a car. I stepped into the entrance, felt the chill of the night. Heard some noise from within, never thought it felt so right. With the creak of the door, darkness feel like a wave. What I saw left me frozen, man, I couldn't be brave. You can charge me, but I'm not guilty.
Caught in a moment, life's a little filthy. Wasn't ready for the shadows lurking in, but I hold my ground, got nothing to fear.
I called out to Janet, but silence gripped my throat. My instincts kicked in hard like I'm on a tightrope. Bend down to shake a heart pounding like a drum. But what I saw next made me feel so numb. Blood on the floor like a canvas dread. Thoughts racing through my mind, what happened? Where's she dead? Caught in the scene like an actor in a play. Hoping that somehow I could just walk away. You can charge me, but I'm not guilty.
Life's a battlefield, got my eyes wide, feel free. Darkness all around, but I still choose to fight. Got nothing to hide, stepping into this light.
In the neighborhood where shadows cast long. Every step I take feels like I'm doing something wrong. But I'm just a witness caught in a strange view. Justice on the line, but what's a man to do?
Finger pointed at me,
but I can't take the blame.
Standing tall in this arena,
it's a twisted game.
The sirens well outside, bringing chaos and heat. But truth is on my side, I won't accept defeat. Life's a rough patch, it's a turbulent sea. But in a stormy moment, I stand, I am free. No incriminations here, it's just a misunderstanding. But time will reveal truths, no need for demanding. So I keep my head high, I won't falter or bow. Charging through the thick air, stating here and now.
You can charge me, but I'm not guilty.
Caught in a whirlwind, but I stand gracefully. Life's twisted plots can try to bring me down,
but I'm stronger than the shadows. Wear the truth like a crown. Na, 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 yeah. Left my house feeling good, sun shining bright. So Tony G on the porch, just a casual sight. But then I glanced it down, his door wide ajar. I had to check it out, my heart racing like a car. I stepped into the entrance, felt the chill of the night. Heard some noise from within, never thought it felt so right. With the creak of the door, darkness feel like a wave. What I saw left me frozen, man, I couldn't be brave. You can charge me, but I'm not guilty.
Caught in a moment, life's a little filthy. Wasn't ready for the shadows lurking in, but I hold my ground, got nothing to fear.
I called out to Janet, but silence gripped my throat. My instincts kicked in hard like I'm on a tightrope. Bend down to shake a heart pounding like a drum. But what I saw next made me feel so numb.
Blood on the floor like a canvas dread. Thoughts racing through my mind, what happened? Where's she dead? Caught in the scene like an actor in a play. Hoping that somehow I could just walk away.
You can charge me, but I'm not guilty.
Life's a battlefield, got my eyes wide, feel free. Darkness all around, but I still choose to fight. Got nothing to hide, stepping into this light.
In the neighborhood where shadows cast.
And we back. Let's go over some of these comments. Where was it? Artie saw the blood behind his cab and said he never told the cops about it. To me, that says a lot. Who would do that? I would be screaming, look at the blood over here, but not Artie. Yeah, there was a lot of blood behind that cab. I think the parents at the interview I think I watched last night said that the blood may have fell from the stretcher when they was moving Janet. But I said from day one that I think that possibly the evidence could have been put in the back of the taxi cab, and that's a real good reason to not know where your damn keys are. And big shout out for a new member. Oh my God, Denise No 43 became a YouTube member. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Riley knows what Adi knows, in my opinion. Imagine the judge didn't even know who Adi was. He was like, who's Adi Ortiz? He said he was there only for his family, but never did anything to help his family. And his family all were at the hospital, and he wasn't there with his family. What the liar? Yeah, absolutely. He was there keeping an eye on the scene, seeing what goes down. I mean, I would have ran to the hospital. I would have walked to the hospital. I gotta go. Like I gotta get there with my wife. I have to. That's me though. But yeah, once he found the bloodstream on the knife was not Eddie's, that was a wrap. And at that point, he said, I can't test the other people because if I test the other people, I'm going to show that I may have charged the wrong freaking kid. I can't turn back now. If the evidence point towards Eddie, stop testing. And that is a trick they use. They stop testing and then say it was inconclusive. One that is not educated will just believe them. Eddie's lawyer was not educated on it, couldn't question it. Eddie's lawyer probably already had 1 foot out the door already. I mean, he's already paid all that money. He's thinking, like, get this case over with. So I don't think Eddie's lawyer really cared about much. Oddities and Riley are liars. The first judge was taken off because he would have given Eddie a fair trial. Absolutely. And he's seen that judge could read through the bullshit. How did Adi tell the cab company that he was not working but had his cab and was smoking weed at Gina's? We probably told them that my sister-in-law got stuck up, you know what I mean? So they probably put him out of service. But at that time, it came time to return the cab. If he did lose the key, and he starts panicking. Disgusting that they didn't do more testing. Do it all again with today's technology. Guarantee it tells a very different story than the lies about Eddie. Absolutely. Retest now. Now, where Riley never sent any other blood samples to Cellmark, is that evidence preserved? I think I've read that they have to hold on to the evidence as long as Eddie is in custody. That evidence has to be kept stored in custody or whatever, as long as Eddie's around. George went on trial the week before the trial. Who does that? You know, he had to get his mind right. He had to prepare. You know, maybe he went on an investigative vacation. Right. Yeah. And them are the kind of lawyers you don't want. But you know what? He had the name. A case like that, you're spending that kind of money, you might as well just go out of state and bring someone in. It will happen unless they realize it and just let Eddie free without a trial. They could give him time served. That's something he won't answer. Why did he have the cab towed by a private company? Nothing makes any sense with Adi. So true. Was it already an appeal? Was it already an appeal after his wrongful conviction, or is this the first time you have an automatic appeal that was like in 60 days? And Trisha said that they was at the Supreme Court 4 times before this case even went to trial. We gotta send Jay Brill over there. Oh, mainstream media don't care. They're not interested in overturning. Mainstream media does what the does what the system wants. They're never gonna go against the fabric. You know what I mean? They're not gonna go against the state. You know. Anybody drive through Rhode Island lately? Masses could be. I haven't been on mass highways, but if you drove through Rhode Island lately, you realize from one side of the state to the other side of the state is under construction. You know why? Because deals are made. Because the governor went to the laborers union, and the laborers said, "You want our vote? That we want every laborer in the local working." And now they knocked down every bridge in the state. Just about every bridge in the state has been rebuilt. Because deals are made. It's out there. Because deals are made. Yeah, maybe Riley might be a witness if there's a new trial. I don't know if they would want a new trial. What I seen happen in situations like this is they still want to get a conviction out of you, right? So what they're gonna tell you is that we're gonna drop it down. We're gonna give you time served, but they still want to try to get a conviction out of you. So what they do is say, you know what, bro, like you was already convicted of a first degree. Tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna drop it down, to manslaughter. Just say something. We're gonna drop it down and we're gonna give you time served. And some guys are like, you know what? It's been 30 years I've been fighting this. I don't have to fight no more. And they might just take a deal. And I go home today, yeah, you go home right now. Right now. We open the doors right now. And have your dad come and get you. Time served, but you got to plead it out. Second degree, plead it out. You go home today. Does Eddie take it? Does Eddie take the deal? Let me know in the chat. Does Eddie take the deal with time served if they came back and said, we'll give you time served, you go home today, but you got to plead out the second degree. I'll tell you what, I'm doing it. I'm taking it. I'm going home today. I'm out of here. I'm going to be eating a steak, you know. Be out of there. See ya. You know why? Because they never want to admit that they screwed up. That's going to be the hurdle here. Trying to get them to admit that they screwed up. Big shout out to the chat, man, holding us down.
Yeah, we gon' take a moment before we dive in.
Let me show some love,
Yeah. Turn on the stream, feel the energy rise. Shout out to the fam, the ones in the skies. Every comment, every laugh keeps the vibe alive. You're the heartbeat of the chat, yeah, we thrive. Pulling up each night, ready to roll. You make this place lit, body and soul. Minds in the back, heavy lifting, they don't play. Keeping it smooth, watching traffic every day. Peacekeepers on alert, holding down the fort. Crew full of love, every stream they support. To the chat, to the crew, yeah, we shine bright. Are the backbone of the night, holding us tight. To the members, true believers, making it real. You're the pulse in our heart, let's do the deal. To the chat, to the crew, yeah, we shine bright. Are the backbone of the night, holding us tight. To the members, true believers, making it real. You're the pulse in our heart, let's do the deal.
We see you dedicated, going the extra mile. Not just watching you invested, that's the style. Lights on, vibe strong, every show's a hit. Community together, can't take a minute to quit. You keep us going, no water down vibe. From the chest to the muds, know we thrive.
Major respect to the ones who keep it clean.
Here we go. Shout out, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to chat. Everyone holding us down. We out here trying to get Eddie a fair trial. They just doing too much. So let's see. Well, all right, we got all that. That's not our job. I mean, absolutely. Eddie's innocent, period. I like that. I like the energy. I bet he gave enough evidence by now to set him free, is why it took so long. Adi will be going to a place where he can't be extradited, and there's no dolphins there. There are no dolphins. Won't be swimming with the dolphins. What this note really, really proves, right, is that the DA's office trained prosecutors, right, to win at all costs, right, not to seek the truth, right, not to evaluate fair, not to treat Eddie fair or any of the other 60 kids that got prosecuted back then for these type of crimes and given life sentences, not to protect other juveniles either. They were told to exaggerate the evidence, blow it out of proportion. That's not an interpretation, that's an instruction. And that's kind of sick because prosecutors are supposed to get to the truth, go where the evidence goes. Don't stick to where you want the evidence to go. They were told to use hypotheticals instead of facts. And this matches Riley's courtroom behavior, assuming that, let's say, hypothetically, right? Yeah, of course, that they were told to ignore rehabilitation, right? That's not our job. Ain't that what he said? That's not our job. They were told to manipulate the evaluations. This matches Condi's unethical involvement. The training directly influenced Eddie's transfer hearing because this is the culture that decided Eddie's fate. Before the evidence even mattered, they already knew that they were going to slam this kid against the wall. They already knew it. You know, the handwritten notes, right, is proof that the DA's office wasn't training prosecutors. Right? They weren't training prosecutors, right? Absolutely not. They wanted to win at all costs. They were training them to win. They were literally told to blow things out of proportion. Use hypotheticals instead of facts. Ignore rehabilitation. And follow advice that had no legal basis. How is that right away not grounds to flip shit over for saying that the most ethical office of the land, you know, is unethical? The courthouse that you believe in, yeah. That's why Lady Liberty wears glasses. Lady Liberty needs glasses. Blow things out of proportion. This wasn't justice. This wasn't strategy. This wasn't politics, right? This is how a 15-year-old kid got thrown into adult prison before the evidence was even understood. The kid was playing tic-tac-toe most of the trial. He had no idea what was going on. He thought, the end of this show, I'll enjoy the show while it lasts. But the end of the show, I'll be home because I didn't do this. He was confident about that. He was definitely confident about that. Listen, y'all, it's been 2.5 hours. I really appreciate everybody. You all know I work third shift, and this case would keep me up at night, which this is my night, but I really gotta get a few hours rest. 8 o'clock comes fast. But I'm gonna check on the regular to see if anybody's hidden from now on, you know, because I want to make sure that never happens again. You know, appreciate everybody that I appreciate everybody that gave today, you know. Thank you, Freebird Forever One with the $50, you know. Free Eddie. You know, thank you for all you do for Eddie. Can't wait for Eddie's Route 30. Let's go. Blessings to you and blessings to you as well. You know, and then big shout out to Anthony's Noel 43 with the $19.99. I'm back. Free Eddie. And at Freebird Forever One with the $20 goals. Let's go. You know, still got time to match. Anyone out there wants to match it up? Appreciate that. StreamYard's due. Internet's due soon. You know, and a $4.99 for Aunt Geraldine, give Eddie our love, give Mr. O'Brien our love, give Mrs. O'Brien our love, and hopefully, you know what? And I even hope when the day comes, I would love to even be there when Eddie walks out just to shake his hand and watch him unite with his parents, That, you know, I bet I'll even get emotional for that. I'm an emotional person. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I talk about my kids, forget it. It's like, my wife says, "You're soft." She said, "You're soft, buddy." You know, and talk about my kids because they moved out. They have their families now. And I was like, "I'll take care of them all. Just pray, please. Just bring them." My wife's like, "No, let them stay wherever they are. They're fine. They'll come visit us." But thanks for the new membership. And I appreciate everybody. I really do. Um, and we'll be back tomorrow. Let's keep keeping it real. The chat was going, then came back. Nope, no more hiding. No more hiding. That was actually an accident. Don't hide me again. It's all good. I appreciate you. I appreciate you all too. Yeah, that was actually an accident. So, you know, um, yeah, appreciate everybody. But let's see if this works again this time. Maybe we could vibe out with some Eddie O'Brien, tunes, see what we have. There we go, that's better. See what we have over here. Yeah, we ain't going nowhere yet, but oh, and how can I forget, man? The Fed Hill Memorial Day Cookout is coming up. Got it parked this year. First time. They're on their 20th anniversary, Memorial Cookout. This is like the Rhode Island Woodstock. This started with 6 friends in the backyard, having a get together for the friends that they lost along the way. But like they say, everybody's invited to this thing. They have barbers there for the kids. They have foam machines, bounce houses. They're gonna have a big outdoor arcade, lobsters, music, all types of stuff. Put all your beefs aside. The lowlights will be there. Fed Hill be there. A lot of the DJs from this area, DJ Lens, so shout out to Fed Hill, shout out to Ali Pone, yeah, but yeah, you have a chance to get there. It's a Got It Park, sponsored by everybody, basically, free event, great, great place for the kids. They used to do Lincoln Woods, and then they just outgrew it. Hundreds of people end up going. They have all types of food. Everything's free. Bring a dish, bring a dish, bring a dish. It's over at Got It Park, May 23rd. Maybe something y'all might like to do. Great place to network, for a place for people if you're into hip hop. A lot of DJs, a lot of rappers. Ali Pone, Trigger Trends, Japan, which they call him Jablo. So a great place, and it's definitely a good cause. You will be on a cruise. Isn't that nice? Well, congratulations and be safe. Every time I see your name, it reminds me of a song. Nice to see you made it. Yeah, that's right. She was hidden. We had her hidden, I guess. She was hidden, but we had to unhide her. You know, we don't want to hide anybody. We don't hide people. If it's free, it's for me. Absolutely. Yep. We don't want to hide anybody. This is Sam looking to pump liquidity into your business. Can we keep it real for materials? All right, peeps. Appreciate y'all. Let's see if we can get, I love when I see this. Going. The purple guy's going. 10 videos down. Turboy next on the docket. Friggin' creep.
He got by court to be banned from his social medias for a while.
What was that?
Oh, sorry.
All right, well, I guess that ain't gonna cooperate with us today. So, but I appreciate everybody, man. Thank you. And we out of here.
We don't do no talking, we know what they do for the views. If I took a loss, no, I got it all back. They just wanna talk, so we gonna talk facts. Got it out the mud, got it out the mud. Really on the blood, really on the blood. Yeah, they know it's up, yeah, they know it's up.
Not promote or promotion any illegal activities. All content provided by this channel is meant only for educational purpose only.
Yeah. Listen up. It's real out here. The ones you trust can make you or break you. You dig? You dig? Yeah.
Some will stretch you, twist you, pull you apart. Got a smile on their face, but they target your heart. Rip your face up with words, cut deep, no scars. You think you know loyalty till they expose who they are. They'll co-sign your dreams and throw you to the wolves. I seen them drag you down, little lies turn to drools. Test your mental, burn you out, that's the game they play. Life is too precious to waste on fakes every day.
Choose your circle wisely, keep it tight, don't let them in. The wrong people will drain you. It's a battle, where to begin? Life given by your honor, don't you let it slide. You're gonna die in a little less cell, no pride, no pride.
Super Bowl's passing, holidays come and go. While you stuck in that cell, that clock's moving slow. Frozen reality, that prison ain't just bars, it's a mind game. Psychological scars, don't act tough. Keep your circle lit and true. Real ones recognize the grind, see the struggle too. Burn me out, now I'm fueled by the pain. Got a thirst for the win, yeah, I'm bringing the flame. Jail is a battlefield, one wrong move can ruin your game. Stop with high school drama, don't let them put you to shame. Snitch not, loyalty's the code, you know the drill. Pick your comrades wisely, always stay on the real.
Choose your circle wisely, keep it tight, don't let them in. The wrong people will drain you. It's a battle, where to begin? Life given by your honor, don't you let it slide. You're gonna die in a little less time, no pride. So keep your circle small, let the real ones surround. Life's too short to get caught up in the fake and the sound. Circle of fire.
I'm sorry, but I gotta stop the music for that. Man, thank you. Oh my God, thank you, Freebird. You are a blessing. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it, man. Yeah. Oh my God, you don't even know. And John the Future was horrible. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate that, man. You guys really show up and show out. And like I said, I ain't nothing without the people in the chat that keeps me, tuned in, coming back. Can't wait to get home from when I get out of work, working all night long. I hurry up. I come home. You know what I mean? Have coffee with the wife. We sit down by the computer, turn the studio on, get rocking for y'all. I do it for you guys, And thank you, man. Thank you, Freebird. I really appreciate that, man. Like, it is just a blessing, man. Thank you. I'll shut up now. We'll get back to some music.
Listen close, it's about to get real, you know how we roll. Came through the door, time to expose what's untold.
Season desist, yeah, they coming for the crown. Pwn against it, high feeling like they running this town. Braga with a briefcase, lawyer up, the stakes rise high. Only the guilty sweat and tell me who's paying the way. Why?
Can we keep it real, podcast? Got them in the sights. Expose the truth, man, we shining through the night. Really, don't you have some makeup to slap on? And Anna Maria in the boy shower, girl, what's going on? It's a circus act. It's a shame to see the role models fade. Sleep around campus, but who's really getting played? What type of example you setting? Who you trying to teach? Teacher on the low, can't afford that type of breach. Teacher on the low, can't afford that type of breach.
Teachers doing wrong, your beetle making you do it again. Predatory skills just like a game of chess, man. It takes a special dude with a year of restraining orders in sight against his own daughter. Tell me, is that even right?
Another low drop, child support, how low will you go? Now you suing the blogger, exposing all that you know over public records. Don't take it personal, this just entertainment, huh? Yeah, right, tell that to the chaos that you've been creating, son.
It's a circus act. It's a shame to see the role models fade.
Sleep around campus, but who's really getting played? What type of example you setting? Who you trying to teach? Teacher on the low, can't afford that type of breach.
But the truth gon' remain.
On again, say how your rep is now
in the lane of pain.
We call out the folks, stand up for what's right. Through the shadows of the night, we gon' seize our spotlight.
Yo, listen close, it's about to get real, you know how we roll. Came through the door, time to expose what's untold.
Season desist, yeah, they coming for the crown. Pwn against it, high feeling like they running this town.
Turtle boy, don't get scared now. Just drop the truth, lay it all down. Turtle boy, what's the word? Lose your job as a teacher, man, was it absurd? PDFs and papers all scattered on the floor. Heard you were a perv, coaching soccer, now you bored. Resigning the blogging, that's a laughable scene. Lana went over the evidence, truth's really clean. Cries Grove, tangled up in claims, dangling in the air. Hope he don't appeal, but the state ain't gonna care.
Short man, little dick syndrome, causing all the fuss. We don't wanna hear you say trigger to us. Why'd you really get fired from your job? Huh? Cause you're a fraud, then now no problem.
Every man motel, cash on demand, hourly rates available, that's the brand. Sewer turtle in the sewer squad, can't we keep it real? This is your reminder, no chance to conceal. They whisper turtle boy living in the lies. Heart of the city, yo, it's all in their eyes.
Turtle boy, you claim to be something you're not. But deception's the game, man, taking shots at the plot. Caught in the web of your own fake ideals. Guess you thought your charm could seal all the deals. Turtle boy, what's your name? Trying to hide behind nostalgia, but it's all so lame. I see you living in the shadows of your past fights. This is for you, written down on sleepless nights.
Keep it real, don't act like you're the kingpin. Frauds don't last long, better off in the bin. So turtle boy, remember where you once were. From teaching kids to heavy blog posts, that's the blur.
So turtle boy, don't get scared of the truth, lay bare. Face the music, hit your knees, breathe in the air. This is the hip-hop nod, the tale we bring. Rhyme it all out, turtle boy, hear the truth sting.
Yo, turtle boy, don't get scared now.
Yo, listen up, I got a story to tell about the strong women who raised me well.
Yo, I grew up in a house full of queens. Strong women teaching me to chase my dreams. Saw my mom grind, juggling, working home. Taught me respect, made me feel less alone. While you flex your muscles, thinking that's power. I learned true strength in the toughest hour. You swing fists, you think that makes you a man. But real warriors protect, they don't need a hand.
Yeah, it's respect over aggression, that's the game we play. Real strength comes from the heart, it ain't just a display. For every queen that raised me, I honor they fight. In a world full of chaos, I'm just seeking the light.
My grandmother's wisdom, it echoes in my soul. Treat women with respect, that's how you roll. You think aggression's a sign of your might, but a real man knows how to stand up and fight. For those who can't, for those who are weak. Instead of throwing punches, have a heart when you speak.
Yeah, it's respect over aggression, that's the game we play. Real strength comes from the heart, it ain't just a display. For every queen that raised me, I honor they fight. In a world full of chaos, I'm just seeking the light.
You're a king now, you ain't got the throne. Real kings uplift, they're not out here alone. In a world where ego rules, I stay grounded and true. Building up my circle like my mother's taught me to do. So listen close, this isn't just art. It's a testament of strength, straight from the heart. I'm a product of queens, respect in my veins. Let the legacy live on through joys and the pains.
Yeah, it's respect over aggression, that's the game we play. Real strength.
Yo, the dope. Yeah. The day hit different, phone rang like a church bell toll. Told the boy at the tavern, Saturday night shell crack. Stories he told. 4 deep in the whip, mission sealed in black ink. He wrote a check his ass couldn't cash. Now we coming to collect that link. Town tabbing, lights low, shadow dancing on floor. We slid in quiet wolves in sheep clothes, eyes locked on the sword, sat across like chess masters, pawns ready to flip the board. No retreat, no surrender, 4 horsemen, death have been called. Turtle in the tavern, slow motion, think he's safe in his cup, but the reaper sent fall. Now the bill coming due. What's up? What? He wrote that check, now his ass in the red, feel the heat rise. But the ratchet skank shield popped up, saved the turtle that night. Yeah, turtle in the tavern, slow motion, think he's safe in his cup. But the Reaper sent foe, now the bill coming due. Feel the heat rise inside the spot. Tension thick like fog in the graveyard mist. One hitter goes to the bar, poking the bear, trying to get a reason to twist. Give me your look, give me your word, make this personal, fool. Turtle boy sipping slow, shell tuck tight, acting cool. Boss on the line, voice cold, he with a ratchet, whole position. Didn't plan for the extra variable. Skank in the equation, phone buzz twice, heartbeat sync with the bass in the back. Hitters itching, fingers twitching, ready to paint the whole scene black. Metaphors in motion, turtle versus the hawks in flight. Shell made of pixels, blogger life, but real still in sight. Ratchet turn savior, hood armor, lipstick like war paint. One wrong move and the whole tavern turned to a horror scene. Faint, boss said I'll call you back. Line went dead like a ghost, then it rang abort mission. Stand down, let the turtle boast. The ratchet skank saved them, unintentional guardian angel glow. Turned 4 killers to civilians with a presence alone. Turtle boy exhaled, never knew how close death did creep. Broke them blogs like swords, but that night his pen almost sleep. 4 guys dipped out, shadows melt back into the dark. Lesson learned, turtle got away that night. Left his mark. Next time, no ratchet shield, shell get cracked, no rehab. But tonight he walked free, and that's a different path.